Volvo XC70 rear struts. So everyone talks about there's a hidden bolt up here on top. It's 12, and then the two top strut bolts are 14. Then the one going onto the stud is a 18. That's all well and good. Now, I'm of the belief that these were designed to be worked on in a shop because there is nothing easy about them when you're on the floor working in a garage, where I haven't found anything that doesn't require a little tip or trick to it. Old Jeeps like that guy in there, ain't much that you gotta work with. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. The older Hondas, not hard. This one can be tricky. So, did the rear struts this morning. Here's my tip. When you go to do this, your track bar, hi Milo, back, and your control arm. Your control arm has the stud. The problem is well, first when you go to drop it out, your strut's going to drop so far down. I know, buddy. And then you're going to have to jiggle it the rest of the way. And same thing going up. Put the two top bolts in, just finger tight. Well, you bring your jack in, and when you start coming up on it, your strut wants to shift. And when it shifts, it binds on the track bar, and then it'll shift back a little ways and bind on the stud. So what I found was, after taking the track bar off on this side and fighting with it for 2.5 hours, I realized on the other side, if I take my pry bar and I pry over and forward just enough to clear, I mean just enough to clear, because it gets tight and it gets heavy. I mean, it's just fight you. Well, once you do, when you go to bring it up, right before it gets lined up, it's going to come off the jack stand about yay far. As soon as it lines up, I do mean as soon as it lines up, tap it on that stud with a hammer, and just keep tapping it slowly and lightly until it lines all the way up and it flattens out. As soon as it flattens out, thread your bolt in, just a couple of threads, just enough to make sure that it's not going to have any issues. Now you can let it back down the jack stand. You're done. You're golden. Tighten everything up finger tight. Once everything is lined up and finger tight, now go through and do all your torque specs. Don't ask me what they are because I don't remember. But use blue Loctite also on them. But that's the tip, and that's the trick. At least that's what I found. If you got another one, have at it. But you have a good one, man.